this episode of Eric Mintel Investigates. Eric and Dominic travel to Hershey, Pennsylvania to investigate the histories and the mysteries of the Englewood. A centuries-old root cellar, a strange visitor on the property, and spooky apparitions have made the Englewood one of the most paranormal hotspots in the country. While on the investigation, Dominic comes face to face with an otherworldly energy that sends the entire investigation into a tailspin. What will the team experience on this episode of Eric Mintel Investigates, The Englewood? My name is Eric Mintel. By night, I'm a professional jazz musician. But by even later at night, I investigate the paranormal. I, along with my team at Eric Mintel Investigates, travel the country, investigating all things paranormal. This is Eric Mintel Investigates. Dating back to 1861, the Englewood Hershey is a historic barn restored into a thrilling music venue that also hosts weddings, private events, and live concerts. Eric Mintel Investigates was brought in to uncover some mysteries long associated with this historic location.
My name is Rick Russell. I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I'm one of the owners of the Englewood.
So Rick, what drew you to this property?
Music primarily. My business partner Jeff Sharp and I had always wanted to create a live music venue in Hershey. We thought there was a real need for it. We laughed that live music performers in Hershey played either at the 20,000 person Hershey Stadium, the 1,000 person theater, or underneath the Marlboro sign by the men's room at one of the bars. So the Englewood barn was built in as early as we can tell, and as what most records indicate, 1861. The farmhouse that adjoins it was built in between 1840 and 1843. The Englewood barn is a typical bank barn style you see a lot in central Pennsylvania and around the Northeast, and that is it's built on a hill. The top part is used for the storage of hay. The bottom part is where the cows were. We called them the German barn mercenaries who would travel from Germany and build barns. It's a really cool structure, has really good bones. Some of the cool elements of it, it has a fully developed root cellar, which many of those get filled in or people don't even know they're there.
When was the last time that was opened?
I don't believe that it's been physically occupied in terms of anyone using it or really anyone down there in nearly 100 years.
Well, I got to tell you, already Dominic is already tuning in on not only that area, but the house. He said that he was getting messages from multiple people that were trying to talk to him over there. So Rick, I know, some of the history here. You've got to have some paranormal history. So tell me some of those stories.
Well, the Englewood has had an interesting 3 years we've been open, that's for sure. In the very first part, we'd have employees that would shut off all the lights and all the music up here and then come back up, and immediately all the lights and all the music are back on. And it's not a light switch, not a flip switch. Someone has to go on the computer and set it up. And when it being very empty late at night and kind of the Shining type feeling of the place and the creepy music playing, that set people back. There's been multiple times where we have had lights that just randomly turned on from day to night, night to day. Lots of orbs is perhaps the best word I can say on our security footage. And I think there's been an interesting water-related issues here at the Englewood. We've had 2 major shutdowns that were so random that it defies really explanation how that could happen twice. We believe that there's obviously a long history here. The place has been open for a long time, and it's had multiple incarnations of what it was and what it was used for, who lived here, who was serviced by it.
I always think that, if that entity is there, it liked being there. It liked being in that location, or multiple entities liked being there. Very rarely have we come across a malevolent type spirit. There's a history here that what I love about these investigations is that it's a puzzle, and we're putting these puzzle pieces together, and then there's a story that starts to unfold that you or I don't even know about.
Yeah.
That's thankfully because of Dominic, because he'll tune in on that energy, and then there's another story that's being told, and then what you've told me, we've definitely got our work cut out for us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, there's an interesting pattern at the Englewood, and that is that all of the things that have gone wrong in terms of a physical infrastructure have all occurred in places that were built onto the old barn. Nothing in this barn, knock on wood, has had its issues. You wonder if it's someone who believes that this type of construction, they wanted it the way it was.
Hey, I'm Jeff Sharp. I'm the co-owner here along with Rick, my partner in the business at the Englewood Hershey.
So Jeff, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
I mean, what the hell is going on here, man? And this is incredible. I mean, I never, my jazz quartet, you guys have been gracious to have my group play here, which we've always loved, and great crowd, and we love what you guys have done here. But I never knew all about this history, and it's incredible. So where are we now?
So, well, now we're sitting in our private dining room called the Prohibition Room. So we thought the theme was appropriate. The entire place is a music venue, restaurant, brewery, but we get a lot of requests for private events, and it's like 16, so it gets used a lot.
And this is only 3 years that you've been here so far.
Yeah, so actually the 20th is our 3-year anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome.
Story, I mean, our idea was to turn this, make it a historic preservation, but make it more modern. The music was the reason we wanted to do it, and then we decided to add a brewery. But as you walk around, you can see most things are original.
I got to tell you, when we get into the root cellar later, I mean, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what's in there?
Right, and there's all kinds of stories about it, but we really don't know for sure. But it's pretty amazing.
Well,
it's
guess
unique.
what? We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
And I mean, talk about the craftsmanship too.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is. They have, they knew what they were doing. They knew where the prevailing winds would come from, so they built a shock absorber into the place. The wood's hand hewn. This was before the time of a powered saw, and
all hand done.
All hand done.
Well, again, we have got our work cut out for us. I can't wait to get on this investigation, see what Dominic can tune into. You've been gracious to have my jazz quartet play here numerous times.
Your group is one of the best that's graced our stages and is part of the fabric of our holidays, so we look forward to continuing that.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you. I can't wait to start on this investigation tonight. I mean, there's already a lot of things that, Dominic is feeling here. I didn't know about the history of this place, which is phenomenal. I mean, my quartet's played here, which is always great, but there's a lot of rich history here, a lot of which we're going to find tonight. So I can't wait to get started.
Hey, I'm already picking up on some stuff here. Downstairs, I picked up somebody breaking their leg pretty bad. It feels like there's a pit. I can't wait to get over into that house because the children are already calling me over there. So I can't wait to get in there and investigate. I don't want to give too much to Eric, so stay tuned.
I had no clue that there was so much history here. We got to get to the bottom of this. A lot of the stuff that Rick told me in the interview, you don't know.
Oh, I'll pick up on it.
That's just the fact that you just picked up on the broken leg out there.
I was just walking in the downstairs bar, and I went by that one room, and you were walking me back from where you were brewing the beer, and I asked you, at the one spot, I feel that somebody had broken a leg. And your reaction was priceless.
Yep. I had goosebumps.
You had goosebumps. And the reason why I was asking is because it feels like there's a sinkhole there. And I was telling you, when I walk back and forth, I can feel the dip in the floor, even though there's really not one there, I still feel it, and the energy is still there. Now, what's the story?
The very first night we opened, we had a private wedding. An individual slipped on the bride's dress and broke his leg.
Right there.
Right there. That same spot you identified.
True story.
Here we are, no sooner here 15 minutes, already Dominic's picked up on that, and you saw Rick and Jeff's reaction to that. We got a lot of work to do. Rick, you've got so much documentation here, man. I had no clue that this was a stop on the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, that's what it's alleged. We're certainly in that area between the Mason-Dixon line isn't too far away. And a lot of places say that they could be, but would make sense on that route. But yeah, there's and a lot of this information came to us very recently. There wasn't a whole lot written until we started digging into the tax records, and some of this anecdotal stuff that we found on here is on the creepy side.
Yeah, exactly. That's something we're going to go over tonight when we get into that root cellar.
Yep.
I can't wait to start opening that. I mean, to get that open and see what's in there is going to be incredible.
I'm looking forward to it myself.
I'm already getting goosebumps. So,
well, if anything, if that pans out the way the first few minutes have, well then.
Well, I know you've got to do a Zoom call right now, so why don't you do that? We're going to check out the rest of the property, reconvene in about an hour or so.
Perfect.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, man.
Yeah, there's still more on this side, but I'm getting more from the house. When I walked around it, the children that are there were calling to me. Then there's women upstairs in the very front area, so up on that third floor. But we have to be careful when we're up there. So, but yeah, there's stuff up there as well. My biggest thing that I want to get to is I want to get to the root cellar.
Who knows what's in there, man? I mean, it's like, have we ever run into anything like that before?
Yes and no. This reminds me of when we were down in Humeville. Do you remember when Karen picked up on the cow?
Yes.
Suddenly, Karen got an overwhelming sensation that a large animal had once been in the basement.
And I also feel like there are cows that died down here.
Cows?
Yeah. As soon as I came down, I'm like, oh, something died here.
That's a kind of similar type of thing, similar era, being that this was, a dairy farm and then it was, a fruit farm and so many other things, but people are always in the house.
Why is it that every 15 minutes into this, you always pick up on this stuff, man? I mean,
Hey.
I knew you were tuning in on stuff on the way up here.
Yes, yeah, when we left Quakertown area, we went past McCool's. When we're coming up, I was already picking up on stuff. Spirit was reaching out, already giving me some info.
We're burning daylight, man. We got to get over to the house and see what your reaction is, and maybe we.
Maybe
we can flush out what they're trying to tell you.
I'm hoping.
All right.
I'll pick up some names.
Let's get Rick though. We got to get down to that root cellar
Yeah.
and open it up while it's daylight. I want to get in there. I don't want to open that thing up in the dark.
No, not at all.
Bill, the president of this entire organization, man. I had no idea. Well, it's so nice to meet you.
You too.
But Bill, I'll tell you, man, you just told me a story and that you could feel these spirits and you had a firsthand account of something that happened to you. Can you tell us that story again?
I was building a restaurant in New York on Long Island. It was Burt Bacharach's old steakhouse.
Wow.
A historic landmark, 100 and some years. And the only place to get the lights on was in the basement. Well, I met the engineers there because we were doing our drawings for permitting and everything. And I didn't have a flashlight, so I had been through this basement many times, so I just kind of felt my way through. And I get to a wall, and it's pitch black. There's not any cracks, there's nothing. And I knew where the box was, and I felt it with this hand, and I went to go grab the big knob, and I hit it like that, and I bumped into somebody. I mean, it was,
wow.
It was as real as hitting you.
I'm just hearing this, man.
I still get them.
Yeah. Wow. So you've had this your whole life?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. And you go into these areas and you could feel that energy there.
Usually.
And I had said that, and Dominic can back me up on this, because I think in our research, again, we talk about people that are connected to the spirit world, connected to people, connected to that energy, and that some people's antenna are more attuned to these situations. And you may be one of those people that is connected to that. And I think Dominic has something else that he might feel or sense that's going on with you as well.
When you were sitting on the other side on the wall, and you were on your phone, there was a woman looking at you. She's about this tall, older woman, gray hair, a little bit longer hair, and she was just sitting there shaking her head. And I asked her why, and she said, he's always on his phone. So are you always on your phone?
No. I'm on my phone a lot.
So, but I'm talking with you. I'm going to say it's your grandmother.
Probably.
And you have something that was hers that
I
you
do.
still use. Can you tell me what it is?
Yeah, so we had a tradition on Easter of making an Easter lamb cake.
Okay.
Growing up Catholic, it's a thing.
Yep.
Well, I have that, and I make a lamb cake or two every Easter, and I have for years and years. It's Grandma's lamb cake.
There you go. She keeps saying to keep doing it
Good.
because it makes her happy. As long
Perfect.
as you're happy, she's happy.
I like that.
So, but she watches out for you. So she puts things in your path to guide you.
That's awesome.
So.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Anticipation was at an all-time high as we headed toward the root cellar.
We're going to open the root cellar for the first time, so I don't know what we're in store for, but here we go. We've got Cooper is filming. Thank you, Cooper. And Sam is right behind. These are our assistant cameraman and cameraman. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go. So Jeff, the root cellar. I mean, I had no idea that this was here. Did you guys know that this was here when you first got the property?
Yeah, but until you walk around and then, oh, there it is. Like,
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
that obvious. So
Exactly.
we weren't really sure where it was or history of it.
I
really.
wonder if root cellars are prevalent in this area.
Yeah, I mean, it's, gets to what, 50 some degrees
Okay.
right underground. So the farmers and used to store stuff down there for refrigeration. And
I wonder. I guess it's a common occurrence
yeah.
around the country. Maybe.
Right.
Wow.
yeah, absolutely.
Incredible.
Is the anticipation killing you? Because it's killing me. I'm already picking up on some things. Bodies were in here. And the only reason why I say that is it's one cold area. When somebody passed away, to preserve the body and put them in a colder area. But I'm definitely getting from spirit that there's body in here, more than one.
So here it is, the root cellar. Now this thing's been here for decades. It hasn't been opened, but it's probably been here for over 100 years. Can't wait to see what we find in here tonight. All right, Rick, the root cellar. Jeff, Bill, are you ready? Dominic?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready. Here we go. All right, Rick.
It'll live.
Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Watch your step. Watch your step. Stay right there. Stay right there.
During our eerie reveal of the creepy root cellar, an unsettling sensation washed over us as we sensed a strange, unexplainable energy emanating from within. The air was thick with an otherworldly presence, and peculiar orbs seemed to dance in the corners, adding to the unsettling ambiance.
It's got a chimney in the back. Look at this.
Rick, Jeff, Bill, you got to see this.
As Rick cautiously approached, a sudden drop in temperature sent shivers down our spines, heightening the feeling of the unknown that enveloped that space.
We're in the belly of the beast. Behind the camera is where there was shelves. Shelves over here on the side, shelves behind me. On this side and behind me was all vegetable storage.
We're here in the root cellar. I mean, this thing is well over 100 years old. Surprising. It's like 90 degrees out there. Very cool in here, but there is something going on in here, and I'm going to let Dom tell you about it.
The interesting thing that I am picking up on in here is a female, about 20, mid-20s, laid out in the middle on a cot. She had passed away, and she's laying here only because she wouldn't decompose as quick until the right people come to get her.
On that note, we're out of here. I mean, so Rick, what do you think, man? What do you think of that?
Amazing how it was constructed, and to think about, the time and effort they put into something back in the 1840s. Some creepy stuff in there. The 1930s era baby carriage is something right out of a horror movie.
I was feeling the woman laying there that had passed away. So that's what I'm feeling down there. There's other energies down there. This had a door on it at one time, and there was a homeless guy living down there. I pick up on him being down there, but he'd really nothing to do with the property. He was transient. He was just moving through the area.
So, guys, what do you think of this whole thing, man? I mean, the root cellar, and Bill, what Dominic just told you about some of the things that you've experienced.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it is.
And a lot of this stuff, guys, is like real time, tuning into that spirit. And what I was just telling you, I don't necessarily feel what Dom feels when he goes into these places, but I do have to say, when we stepped into the root cellar, I felt, coming out of there, I felt like this rush of like something. And I don't know if it was a temperature change or what, but it was very, very weird. I mean, we're burning daylight. We've got a lot of stuff to do. We haven't even hit the house yet.
Yeah, and the house with the most history in it.
Guys, I can't thank you enough for allowing us full access here. I mean, this is turning out way better than I thought, so thank you so much.
Let's just keep rolling it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Good stuff.
Dominic's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Well, I mean, that's... yeah.
So Rick, this is incredibly creepy, man. I mean, this is wild. But it's this used to be a school, though, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Part of the Milton Hershey school system. So a school for orphan boys for many, many years.
And of course, Dominic is tuning in on the boys.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah,
the presence was of boys because it was a school for boys only at the time.
Wow.
As we headed to the second floor, a familiar feeling came over us.
Dom, what does this remind you of?
Haunted Hillview.
I was just going to say that. What are you sensing so far, Dom?
I'm sensing a kid sitting here looking out this window, and he sits right here. But he's looking out at the farm animals. He likes to sit out here. It's quiet in the stairwell. So up here behind me, that window is where I saw 3 boys looking out, watching us. I'm gonna go in the room and see if I can tune in and see who they are. Let's find out.
With this new information, Dominic entered the room, and as soon as he did, the magnetometer went off the charts.
If you're here, could you give us a sign that you're here? Move something or say something, tell us your name. We're here just to get to know you. We're not here to do anything other than know your name.
We captured nothing on the EVP.
So, I don't know, we have to listen to the EVP in a quieter environment, so nothing so far on that. We're going to go up to the 3rd floor, and Dominic wants to see if he's sensing a woman up there. And could this be possibly tied to the woman that was in the root cellar?
Right up here.
So Dom, this is where she was looking out of?
Yeah, I saw her looking out of this window, down at us.
As Dominic's senses honed in on the unknown woman's presence, a palpable wave of heavy energy rippled through the air, intensifying the eerie atmosphere around us.
All right, so right now we're on the 3rd floor. I'm trying to find the woman that I saw looking at us through the window, but she's being elusive. She's not letting me see her and talk to her. I don't know why. I think maybe it might be all the electronic gadgets that we have. I really want to connect with her to see what she has to say.
As we continued the investigation, whatever energy Dominic was feeling was now gone. Or was it? We decided to meet up with Rick and wrap up the investigation. Our work at the Englewood Hershey is far from over.
So, Rick, I want to thank you again, man. This was absolutely incredible, man. This was
thank you, guys.
You've got a beautiful venue here, too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And honestly, the beers are top notch.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, my
appreciate
friend.
that. It's
And listen, you know
super
what?
cool.
We're not done yet. We're going to go over the footage. We're going to get back to the office, look at the footage. I mean, talk about the history here, man. It was unbelievable. Your kids were totally into it, too.
Well, they were fired up, and thank you
yeah.
for being so gracious. And you reinforced some of the cool things about spirituality that you know we talk about. We're not particularly religious people, but we all believe that everyone has a good spirit.
And salute to that, my friend.
Yes.
And with that, guys. But Rick, I'm going to thank you so much again, man.
Thank you. We'll see you at Christmas time. Right?
Absolutely. You got it.
forward
Can't
to
wait,
it.
man.
Wait to
We're
have you
kicking
back.
off the season with you. That's going to be awesome.
That will be fun.
We uncovered many mysteries and encountered strange paranormal energy, but despite these eerie encounters, the Englewood Hershey defies its haunting past, standing strong as a beacon of unforgettable music, exceptional food, and impeccable service. Our exploration unearthed a fascinating duality, where the spectral and the sensational converge, making Englewood Hershey not only a premier musical venue in Pennsylvania, but also a testament to the enduring blend of the supernatural and the vibrant world of entertainment. Plan your visit today.